Welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in one of the coolest abandoned buildings that I've ever been in. I've been here previously, like last year or something, but I thought, because I was in the nearby area, I would come back and document it once again on the channel and just check it out. There's these old stone surfaces in here, maybe an old larder or whatever. I can actually hear an engine. I'm staying super low key here, or trying to anyway. Look at this. It's the old iodine pills or whatever. Must be for like cows or sheep. Or animals. I can literally hear pigeons and stuff, so I'm going to get out of here. Wow folks, I love exploring history and seeing things that I've never seen, and sometimes when you come back to these places you find things that you never even knew existed. I was just listening there folks, because at this time of year there's so many bee and wasp bites. This is so cool folks, look at the old bounty box. Check that out. Bounty ice creams. The viewers are along on this adventure with me. Whatever kicks off, you lot are going. I'm just keeping the camera rolling. Look at the old taps in the windowsill. I just absolutely love scenes like this, where it's like abandoned Scottish history. One day somebody just left this place just how it was. Nobody hardly probably ever comes back in here. Wow, it's nice and cool in here on a hot day as well, because it's proper roasting. I can literally hear the animals, so I'm being careful. Look at this folks, the way the paint here is peeling off the wall, that's caused by the lead, which was an ingredient on the old paints of the time when a house like this was first built. Wow, I should have brought the torch. I can't even believe this. I meant to bring the torch for this one, I totally forgot. Wow, this is so spooky folks. Look at the old shelf units and stuff like that. Yeah, this is so eerie when you're in a building like this. Toffee yo-yos, look, 39p. Somebody liked their chocolate in this house anyway. No way, look what these things look at these folks. Don't know if that comes out on the camera. The old tins, like assorted creams. Wow, this is just a random adventure right here folks, so I'm basically just, like I said, I'm keeping the camera rolling. I wasn't even planning on coming to this destination today, but because I was in the nearby area, I just thought, why not nip in, see if anything's changed. Wow, look at this fireplace. I can't believe on such a sunny, hot day, like that it's so dark and cold in here. Look at these old cards here. I think these are like top trumps, star trumps, like with all the old steam locomotives. That's cool to see. Now look at the old Star Trek license plate holder. 1997. Tomorrow Never Dies. James Bond, folks. Tractor focus. Oh look, there's a tractor pulling video here, VCR. Monster Truck Summer Slam. Or I think that's what it says anyway. Best of tractor pulling. So you can tell they were like farming or tractor orientated. Before the days of YouTube, you had to buy VCRs or whatever, depending on what you were into. And it must have been cool. That's the sort of thing I used to love watching when I was young. You would have like your favourite videos or whatever. Look, the Old Meal Mal too. An absolute classic there, folks. Oh, and here's the original, the Old Meal Mal, featuring George Duffus, Graham Gerris and his pipe band. Incredible scenes, folks, once again. Wow, look at the old carpets and things like that. Everywhere you look in a place like this, it's just incredible. It's like visiting a forgotten world. Just check out here, folks. This is what I was blown away by the first time I came here. I couldn't even believe that there was a spiral staircase or whatever leading up to the top floor, because it's just so beautifully finished. The detail and the craftsmanship. I thought I could hear footsteps there, folks. It's likely just maybe birds in the roof or whatever. But I was just keeping quiet for a split second. But yeah, the size of... Oh my god, I just heard a door bang. This is another thing. Old houses in Scotland had the stone slab floors. Just when I was speaking, I heard a bang. I'm not sure if it's pigeons or what. Oh, I think there's been mice or rats in here because they've been tearing up that. Yeah, it's like this place has been abandoned during the Christmas period because there's some decorations and things. Wow, this is eerie, folks. When I see that evidence of rats, I just imagine one of them running out at me. Obviously, because I don't have the good torch today either, it's kind of... we're limited as to what we can see. This has been like an old summer house with a door leading out into the back garden. Look at the wee Philips monitor. And we've got this wow, I'm standing on broken glass here. Look at the old record player. It's like I'm hearing engines and things. This house is obviously next to like a working farm, so I'm being super careful as I go around. Like, I'm just staying safe here. Like, if I hear any noises, I'm keeping my voice down. But to the landowner and the house owner, can always come with the greatest respects when I'm on these adventures. I just like documenting history or things that's not been seen for a long time. Oh, look at this. It's an old Meccano set, folks. Check it out. See, that's the kind of history that I love documenting. Somebody must have been in here. Hey, look at that. Wow. So much fun to find those wee nuggets. Just think that was maybe somebody's Christmas present or Christmas morning. They would have been taking that out and building it up. Check it out, the towel still hangs on the towel rail. The old sink. One tap, most likely just cold water. And the old toilet. I think at a certain time it's like they have tried to save this house or keep it in a certain standard, but then that maintenance has not been kept up after a while, so it's fallen into a different level of decay. Let's head on up here, folks, and see what's left. Look at the stained glass window above my head here, and the way these railings lead around. The architecture of these old places is just fascinating to see. It reminds me of the houses, like I used to go and stay at some relations my summer holidays when I was young, and these are like the houses they stayed in. Old farmhouses and things like that. There is footsteps on the ground here, footprints, so that shows other people have been in here exploring, taking a look around. Wow, it's incredible being such a light piece of this house after being in all those dark rooms. I'm just keeping my voice down as well for this adventure, you may have noticed. I can hear an animal. Wow, since the last time I was here, this has changed. Look at it, folks, the plaster's all in that heap here on the ground. I think this was one of the old maid's rooms at this corner. Now look at this here. I believe a house like this had maids' quarters, but also there was a different quarters for the cook, which we'll go and see in a minute. Last time I was here I found a secret room that I never even knew existed, but I've since figured out that it was likely to have been like the cook's quarters. Look at this, it's like a secret door through what must have been a cupboard. Again, there must have been like a cupboard or whatever with coats and things hung, but then there was easy access from this room through, so it may have been like a main bedroom here where the maid could come through with a simple ring of this bell, and then that they would assist whoever was in this room, because that would have been like the original times when a house like this was built. These families would have had a lot of money and a lot of wealth, and that's how they had all these incredibly big like farmhouses and things like that, almost like little mansions of their era. Yeah, look at the decor here, the detail. Check it out, folks, the old, like, what's it called? Capsuline toothpaste right there. Yeah, this room's incredible. Every time I come here there's more and more of the plaster like ripped and fallen off. And that's why I like documenting these places. Sometimes even if I've been there before, I love coming back like a couple of years later or whatever and just seeing the history once again, documenting it. That's often when you find the coolest details that you missed the first time. Like secret doors sometimes, or secret rooms into the unknown. And these corridors and lobbies just keep on going and going. So many rooms, so many storerooms. Old blinds there off one of the windows. Yeah, each of these rooms, it's strange. It's got a door leading through. Yeah, this room had 2 doors. It almost looks like it's been a child's room. The old windows. The curtains still hang within the room here. Yeah, this is strange. How there's a double door. Sometimes that's the wee historical things that I try and figure out. Not unless this had been like the parents' room here, and the kids' room was easily accessed through this door. Again, what it looks like, there's not even been a door on this opening. this house is just so vast. Look at the old hat. Old hat of the owner of the house, potentially. You can see it's like the sort of thing you see them wearing at the horse racing or whatever. That actually looks like it's been burnt. Maybe there was like a candle or something here. Yeah, it's interesting to think about that. The person's wife or whatever wearing that hat. Maybe the person themselves that owned this. It's very unusual to see a fire with no hearthstone on there, because the sparks would just be coming straight out and burning the carpet. It does have the square plugs though, folks, which shows it's not super old, like, because the older houses had round plugs. I can also see this mantelpiece matches the one in the other room. Yeah, they've had a TV aerial and stuff, so somebody must have lived in this house right up until, oh, the light's gone off. That's so eerie. Yeah, they must have literally lived in here up until like maybe even the 80s or something, I'm thinking. Or like we saw a tax disc holder from 1997. It shows how like quick things can decay from 1997 or whatever, like we saw in that tax disc holder. If that had been when somebody last lived here, it's just crazy to see how it's degraded and decayed since then. Yeah, I remember coming in here the last time. Wow, folks, anyway, let's head on down to like the kitchen and things like that. Document the last few rooms in this building. Look, the old banister's been knocked. Somebody's knocked the wood down off the old banister. I'm sure last time I was here that was complete. There's probably a piece of it lying down at the bottom if somebody's been careless and knocked it off. Wow, folks, what a scene. What a scene once again we're in the middle of. Look at that, there's a pigeon's carcass down there. It's maybe come into this section of the house and then it's no kind how to get back out. Yeah, it's just a shame to see all the debris sitting on top of the window as well. Probably one day that'll build up and then the window will just fall down. And you can see how the water's been dripping on this carpet. I think last time I came here that was still dry. Another thing in this house which is pretty cool to see is those rosettes. Because the person must have been into show jumping. Yeah, everything's been moved in here since the last time I was here. That's why I don't give away exact locations of houses or places like that, because I don't want any vandalism or like thieves or anything to come in and steal things. Because they're often just like a time capsule of history. And it's better to save it, so generations in the future get a chance to see how these things looked or how they were at a certain time. And that's how these videos can often keep it alive. You can see how places decay and degrade over the years. Look at this old vintage Hoover as well. It still hangs here behind the door. And then that would have been another little larder kind of storeroom in there. Below ground level, so it was super cool. And the food stayed fresh. There's a Prestige vacuum jug, check it out. And there's the very thing sitting there. Oh, look at this fancy looking thing here. Wow. Moth flying out of me. It says dry martini. It's one of these things for shaking up the drink or whatever. For mixing drinks. Look at that there, the old flasks. Yeah, this would have just been somebody's everyday life. Like there's like mahjong or whatever in a box. Nowadays most folk just play stuff like that on the computer. That's the first time I've seen the actual block version of that. And this is one of my favourite windows. This window up here, for some reason. I love the way that the old plants and stuff grow on the outside of it. Oh my goodness gracious me, folks. Oh shit. This pigeon needs... I'm now going into this room because there's clearly a pigeon in there and I'm not wanting it to fly through the glass. Like, this is something I discovered the last time, folks. This is actually the kitchen. I'll put the torch on here. Check it out, the old cooking stove and stuff. Look. Manufactured by Smith and Wellstud Limited. Proprietors of the SA Cooker Company, Bonnybridge, Scotland. So this is a Scottish built cooker here. Not to be confused with an Agar. I'm sure the last time I came in that wasn't open, but it's seized solid. But you get an idea of these old cookers. Sometimes they were just on all day in the farmhouse. So there's a bit of Scottish vintage cooker history, folks, documented. And look at all these rosettes. All equestrian rosettes. And then the old, this must have been the main kitchen. Look at the corrosion from these taps. Yeah, I think maybe this had been the main kitchen. I think there had been a full-time cook. Because last time I was here I discovered this. It's like secret rooms, folks, within this building. Wow. This is what these adventures are all about, folks. Stepping back into time and discovering things that's never been seen for years and years, and this it's so eerie when you climb up a dark stairway into the unknown, into the undocumented. Guess what card this is, folks? The Duke of Diamonds. It says spare 7 on it, I don't know why. Yeah, this is crazy. Whoa, there's a huge spider. I remember that from the last time when I came up. Check it out there, folks. The mouse traps on the floor. And maybe there was mice here because it was in such close proximity to the kitchen. I'm going to be super careful here because the roof and everything's just like totally destroyed. You can just imagine though the cook, this would have been her little bedroom and she would have obviously been in charge of the kitchen. Stuff like that. Oh, look at the whole electrical box. I'm getting spider webs in my head. Yeah, wow, there's a proper old sink there with the metal surround. Look at that, yeah, that's just so cool to see. And this would have been her own little space here, I believe. Little shelf. Whoa, there's just spider webs galore. Other things in here like Lego. See, as the years progressed, the later times here, this was likely just not the cook's room. It was maybe just adopted from the current family that lived in it. It was maybe even a child's quarters or something, but I believe this originally would have definitely been where the cook would have had her bitty, because she would have just come down and had quick access into the kitchen. Maybe even the maids as well as the cook. But there's some interesting old like battery boxes there, the old X-side batteries. It's like green and black. And that box, I don't know what it is, it's like a bathroom mirror. railway modeller. Somebody in this house has been into railways. For sure. Some of this old stuff, it's so interesting just to see. The old labelling and the old packaging. Look at the old Presto's bag as well. Railway modeller, August 1981, 55p, and it's to do with Charles and Diana. Congratulations, it says on it. That was probably a very rare magazine. It's all about railway models. Wow. And there's all those Lego toys as railway models as well. Wow, folks, up there I can see it. Wow, the torch was going off again. That's so spooky. But yeah, up there I can just see it's just hanging with spider webs. The ladder's actually broken. It's had a crude repair done on it. Wow, look, this old hula hoop. That's how I wonder if this had been used as maybe a child's area in the later years. Whoa! Massive spider webs on my head. Oh my goodness gracious me. I need to get out of this room. Look at the electronic games machine. That's the trouble, folks. I just love exploring history so much. Sometimes the nature and wildlife that I deal with is just horrifying. With the massive spiders or any other creatures, there's always something that's just proper spooky. But it's always worth fighting through all that to get the footage and to have the adventure. And once again today, I've just loved seeing what we've seen and documenting a place like this. You can just see how a house was at one time for like a farming family. Originally with like maids and a cook, and then in the later years they probably just ran this place themselves. That was the room where the pigeon was flying against the window, so I think it must have gotten out. I'm just covered in spider webs right now though, it's just mad. Anyway folks, let's head on out of here. Look at this tins. I keep noticing more cool stuff. The J. It's a Scottish bird that you get. What's this? Pure butter shortbread. Just look at the old door. Yeah, it's just mad, folks. It's so cool. I love seeing things like this. I probably said it already on the video. Listen. I can hear the little birds nesting up in the roof, so I'm going to make it a quick exit, folks. I'll have to watch out for more of those pigeons flying out over my head. I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the next one, wherever I end up going.